Hi, welcome to Framelines. This week I'm going to be talking about the Pentax 6.7. Cue the trendy music. Hi, welcome to Framelines. So first things first, just wanted to say a quick thank you to everybody who has picked up my zine so far. Loving seeing them arrive, and people's feedback on it has been, I'm blown away by the response, and so humbling and satisfying, and I'm really glad I did it. And yeah, just a huge thank you. I still have a few copies available, so link is in my bio below if you want to take a look. So in the last video I talked about how I'd recently picked up So in the last video I talked about how I'd recently picked up a Pentax 6.7. So this time around I thought I'd do a kind of my first thoughts, first impressions, some pictures I've taken with it, where I've been enjoying using it, etc. So yeah, here it is, the Pentax 6x7, or Pentax 42 as no one calls it. So yeah, I've shot about 3 rolls with it so far. It's been kind of fun. It's been definitely a bit of a learning curve. So over lockdown, I found myself doing much more kind of local walks around my area, just generally slowing down, shooting with a slightly longer focal length, so a 50mm most of the time. So I thought I'd kind of take it to the next level in a way and give medium format film a go. I've never tried the 6x7 format. The 6.7 seemed like one of the cheaper ways to get into that format. I mean, film overall is crazy expensive. I mean, I bought a box of 5 rolls of Portra 400 that cost me nearly £50, and then developing as well on top of that is another kind of £8-9 a roll. So you're looking at close to £20 per roll. So if you shoot 2 rolls a month, you're looking at £40 a month, and that's only 20 pictures a month. So yeah, I don't know. I think for a similar kind of cost per month, you could get a pretty high-end digital camera on like a kind of finance deal. So I think there's a lot of kind of factors to be taken into account when shooting film. I'm not saying people shouldn't do it, but for me, initial thought, I'm still not sure, to be honest with you. But to start off, I'm just going to kind of jump into a little video of me going for a walk around my local area. I shot a roll of Ektar 100 and a roll of Portra 400. You can see the light changes a bit because it was kind of varying between golden hour and the kind of more overcast times in the 2 days I shot this. So yeah, a few pictures I took along the way, and then we'll get into kind of my thoughts on the camera and overall getting back into film. So yeah, those are just a few shots I took around the area. I guess people mostly buy these for portraits. I have been trying to get into portraits recently. I've kind of set myself a bit of a goal of shooting 1 or 2 street portraits every time I go out recently. They're all on digital so far. Maybe I'll show people soon, but I haven't taken any I'm hugely happy with yet because I'm still very new to it and approaching people is quite nerve-wracking. I was hoping to take a few more with this, but I found just the kind of overall usage of it, there has been a bit of a learning curve for me, kind of switching the meter on, getting the focus, and then the overall ergonomics. It takes me quite a long time to take a picture, and I've been a bit worried about stopping somebody and taking up quite a lot of their time while I faff around with the camera. With street portraits, I've found at least that you are very conscious of how much of people's time you're taking up. I've kind of been extra conscious of that with the Pentax. That maybe sounds like a bit of a cop-out or a bit of an excuse on my part. You decide. But yeah, I'm hoping to have some portraits to show people soon, but not just yet. As you can see, I just shot a kind of few shots around the area, some kind of semi-street photography stuff, more landscape style. Obviously love the look of film, that's why people shoot film. I scanned them all with a DSLR on a light pad and then converted them in Lightroom using Negative Lab Pro. We were thinking about doing a video about this process, but there's loads of great videos already out there on YouTube. Matt Day's is what I watched to learn how to do it, so I'll leave a link to that below, but it's much more efficient than flatbed scanning, I've found. To do a roll of 6x7, it took me about 25 minutes, whereas when I was using my Epson V550 before, it could take me like an hour and a half, I think. So yeah, once you get into the rhythm of it, I found it much quicker, but very happy with the results of the film. Some of the detail in it is crazy. I guess that's because the negative's so big and these lenses are quite sharp. Camera-wise and ergonomics, for me, I did find it a bit of a struggle, like I mentioned before. This whole like wooden handle banister thing, for me, as far as I can tell, it's just for show. I really don't understand, like, you have to switch hands so often to kind of focus, wind the film, take the picture. The switch on the top for the meter's really fiddling in a kind of stupid place, and then the meter turns off after like 30 seconds, for me at least. Ergonomics, for me, it's horrible. I guess most people actually just use a normal strap rather than the handle. Even if you're left-handed, I don't fully understand how this would help. Also, London has been 35, 36 degrees for like the last 4 or 5 days, so I've really had no desire to pick this up whatsoever. The whole kind of package is over 2 kilos in weight, I think, so the thought of wandering around with this in the heat, no thank you. Overall, thoughts on it? I'm not hugely sold. For me, I'm not really into SLR focusing style. I'm much more used to the rangefinder style. I'm much quicker with it. Obviously, with practice, I'm sure I could get a bit better, but I'm kind of so ingrained in rangefinder, it seems quite tricky for me to switch between the two. Ergonomics, I'm not hugely into it. The meter is just, it's bad. I mean, again, most likely user error. But overall, I think I am going to sell it. It probably seems a bit fickle of me. I obviously haven't had it very long. A couple of friends of mine, when I talked to them that I was going to buy a 6.7, they were like, don't think you're going to like it. Maybe rent one or borrow mine. And I was like, no, it'd be great. I'll just splash out. But they were right. They were right. I've eaten my words. It's not for me. But I guess, you know, that's how you learn. You give it a try. The way film cameras are going at the moment, I bought this like a month ago, so it's probably worth twice what I paid for it. I'm just kidding. Half kidding, at least, anyway. Yeah, I am still keen to kind of get back into film. I guess for me, I take so many pictures on digital. I mean, there's some days I can go out on the weekend and take 500 to 1,000 pictures. I just go out, walk 10, 20 miles and just take pictures non-stop. And obviously there's quite a bit of the economical change between the two. 10 shots on a roll, £2 a picture. You've got to really think about it, and I guess it's a good kind of way for me to practice switching between the two. Like I said earlier, just generally slowing down, but film photography, I guess, kind of amplifies that disappointment of your pictures being bad, which is fine. Obviously, it's nice to kind of be put back in your place and humbled a bit, but when you can actually see the cash draining shot by shot, it's kind of tricky sometimes to stay motivated. But I don't know. I think I probably am going to sell it and maybe look for an alternative. If anybody has any kind of recommendations for slightly lighter medium format cameras that maybe might suit the kind of my requirements that I've mentioned, then let me know down below. But overall, I don't regret buying it, but I don't think it's for me. Yeah, that is what it is, I guess. But hopefully I'll find a medium format camera I'm more suited to. But yeah, thanks for watching along. Any questions, give me a shout. Again, thanks for checking out 10 Miles West. Link down below, and also the link to Matt Day's video on DSLR scanning. Thanks for sticking it out. See you in the next one. Please remember to like and subscribe, and cheers.